I did want to ask you guys if y'all are rolling with the dress, air quotes, the dress, what it means. Are you submitting to the theory that Hollywood does try to make prominent black men put this on? Like, how do we feel about that?
I believe it.
Because he brought it up a lot, and there was a narrative, there was an undertone all sprinkled through the shit.
He wasn't the only person to say it.
A lot of people said it over the years.
I do want to ask y'all about in 2 seconds. Do y'all submit to the theory or no?
Yes.
I'm asking the tough questions here today.
I do.
I mean, so many of, we not in that industry, but so many of them say it, and they say that they're kind of adamantly against it, and they kind of be trying to force it on them almost. You know what I'm saying? Like they try.
So the theory is, just to be
clear,
you wear a dress,
you get ahead.
Yeah, but specifically for black men in Hollywood.
Yes, black men.
Okay.
They lend it to like they're trying to emasculate us on camera. Like
we have
there's
an
a
actress.
concerted effort.
We have an actress.
That's what I'm saying, man. You said okay.
Set.
Yeah, you said okay.
We have an actress, a black actress right here. I want to toss it to her.
So the only reason why I offer like the tiniest bit of pushback on that is just because I've seen it throughout cinematic history with white men doing it too. Like the first movie that I thought of immediately was Some Like It Hot, 1959. It was Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis. And it's a movie with Marilyn Monroe. They witnessed a mafia hit. In order to, you know, kind of like hide, they dress as women.
What, you got them tatted on you?
No,
no.
Bosom Buddies. Tom
Hanks.
Hanks, really big comedy
Amazing.
sitcom that he starred in. Mrs. Doubtfire. There's so many examples of, you know, Tootsie.
But you're being willfully oblivious.
Yeah.
No. I'm
being willfully oblivious is what you're doing.
Point, though.
No, you don't.
It might.
That point seems, for me personally, seems to be moot in this conversation. Because this conversation is, are black men compelled to put on dresses to get ahead? That didn't say anything about white men in white Hollywood who don't need to wear a dress for certain doors to be open. So if they do wear a dress, then woo, good for them.
Okay, so then
we're talking about the black man plight of wearing a dress in white man Hollywood.
Okay, so then what about the character of Medea? That was written, produced, directed, fully formed by Tyler Perry.
Oh, you're going to keep running. Tyler Perry, his whole story is how I've had to work outside of Hollywood restraints and the Hollywood table. And if I'm not willing to do certain things at that table, then I go build my own. And he went and did that. That don't speak to the problems that black men are facing in Hollywood that we keep hearing about. So why do you run from that specific point? Why do you keep trying to find the outlier?
Oh, it's not an outlier. I was just drawing comparisons, you know, because as many comparisons as there are of black men, you know, wearing dresses for roles in movies and television shows, there is their white counterpart.
Yeah, but the white men don't need to wear a dress to get the roles.
But how do we know? How do we know that?
Yeah, you don't really know. I mean, here's the
thing.
It's like Tom.
I'm just asking what words.
I've never heard a white man complain about wearing a dress, man.
But just as an example, I know because they don't. I've never really heard them talk about said agenda. So, for example, Tom Hanks.
So then that's how you know.
When it came to Bosom Buddies, he wasn't a big star at the time. He hadn't even starred in what was the Splash.
No, that
you know
was
what I mean? That was really his first shit. So he was like an up and coming real no name actor.
Put you in the dress.
But he didn't have a problem with it. They don't have a problem with it. The problem is the black actors are saying this.
No, the ones that put the dress on don't have a problem with it either.
Because they put the dress on and got the role.
So that's why Tom Hanks not gonna have a problem with it because he put the dress on.
Well, let me ask you guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you guys.
I'm so angry that Tom Hanks has entered this conversation.
Well, so let me ask you guys as the black men in the room. Do you, when you see this, when you see black men wearing dresses for roles, do you feel like it's emasculating?
Can I ask you a question, man? You know what you're doing, right? Like you PC, you walk in a safe line. I don't know what's going on, but you're a person, and you've been around a lot of people, celebrities. You've been in these situations. We're asking you, how do you feel about it? Are you saying you've never heard black men actors say that we have to wear dresses
this is a thing for us? This is a thing for us. That's what we keep hearing them say.
No, but that doesn't mean anything that I personally don't have those. I haven't had those conversations or been privy to those conversations. It doesn't mean anything that I haven't been.
Okay.
You know, like
we are telling you that is what black actors are saying. What do you say to that? We're not asking if you've been at the table while they talked about it.
I mean, if that's the way that they feel, then that's the way that they feel.
Holy shit! All right, you got this.
Why?
She's a legend. You get a pound.
I'm not.
She got a bunch of movies down the pipeline.
No,
you sound like somebody with a lot of movies coming down the pipeline.
I'm not trying to be PC. I'm also a woman where this doesn't really like. I don't identify with it. It's not my issue to identify with. And I think that happens a lot of the time. Is there's times where you guys don't identify with the things and the stances that I take because I am a woman, and you don't know what it's like to be a woman.
And that's when you challenge us to.
Mm-hmm. No,
that is when you challenge us to look for a perspective outside of our own.
So I understand that, and that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm offering a different perspective. Because of the fact that I am a woman, and I'm looking at it like I'm not really seeing that much of a difference. And if there is a difference, just educate me on that. That's what my point is.
Well, what he's saying, the difference is there are black actors or black comics that are saying they want us to wear the dress to get ahead. Mm-hmm. That's the education.
That
is the education.
That's the education.
That's a fact.
People that are in that field, I'm not there. You're absolutely right. I have no idea. But I'm hearing too many of my brothers speak to the dress and what it means.
The dress, the advances, just all kind of shit.
That transcends Hollywood. He went further. He expounded.
Yeah.
I feel like the dresses and the advances and stuff like that, that's
I'm just saying that there are some things you have to be, you may not typically do, some uncomfortability that you have to take to allow to get ahead is what they're saying.
Okay, so can I ask this question?
And they said the same thing about Holly before she won her Oscar. So I mean, there are issues out there in terms
you got to go through certain shit.
And this is off the heels of
Taraji
P. This is off the heels of Monique. Fam, mad black people are speaking of what the fuck they going through out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
they speak to the other side of it too. Like when we don't play ball, what happens? There are people that are proof of this.
Cut your water off.
I sit there, I tell y'all all the time, I was at Eddie Griffin's stand-up, and he's on stage. He was like, yo, one of them Hollywood dudes tried me in a party. He's like, I slapped the shit out of him. And they looked at me and said, you will never work in this town again. He was like, you know what? I never worked in that town again. It's the truth. So there are people that's not willing to play that game.
There's some truth to
and
all
they
this
stand,
shit.
and they're examples of what happens when you don't play
This
that
was
game.
black people beefing about Denzel not winning for Malcolm, but winning for fucking training. There are like we were turning a blind eye.
No, I think
I don't have to be an actor to have heard some of the shit that go on with black people in Hollywood.
No, I think we're conflating a whole bunch of different issues at the, and creating just like one big pot of issues. When we're talking about Taraji and Monique, they were talking about pay inequity and being, black actresses in Hollywood. And when we're talking about
that's the same thing.
It's the same.
It's the exact same thing.
Wearing a dress in the pay inequity.
It's the same exact thing.
But that speaks to her point. So she can identify with Taraji and Monique because she's looking at it from a female's perspective. She's not going to be able to identify with Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart or Cat Williams because they're looking at it from a man,
a black man.
wearing
But it's a black thing.
I know, but it's a black thing.
But also,
the gender don't separate.
No, but also, I also had one other point that I wanted to make. We've made the distinction that and white boy black man humor is kind of different. The things that white boys find really funny, black people are like, that's wild.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So wouldn't it, kind of be a rational thought that white men or the heads of the titans of the industry and all the the men with power and stuff like that, they actually think that men in dresses are actually fucking funny, and it has nothing to do with a form of emasculation?
Holy shit.
Let it go.
Holy shit.
Leave it alone.
It's literally, I'm posing a question.
I get your question. I don't think that's it. I think it's more of a break. Let me break you.
Let me break the mandingo type thing.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm gonna put you in this dress. I'm the gatekeeper, like he was saying about the gatekeepers and shit. I am the person that can take you from here to here. How bad you want it.
So you're saying that a white male actor in a dress doesn't have the same repercussions as it does for a black actor?
He may, but for this conversation, we're not talking about the white male actor at all. It's solely a black male actor conversation because
I don't want us to get
the black male actors are the ones who are speaking out, saying this is what they're doing. We haven't heard any white male actors say that, so we can't group them in this right now.
Okay.
Only only the black male actors are coming out saying, "Hey, they're telling you if you don't wear a dress,"
and they could talk about that in a white actors meeting.
So we just keeping it to black male actors, and yeah, I do think there's some truth to that.
Let's progress this thing.
Yeah, let's progress it. Would y'all wear the dress?
No.
I'm not an actor. I couldn't be Daredevil. So I ain't about to put a dress on.
I don't wear no fucking dress.
Even for like COE?
Never. They're fucking crazy. No.
Okay.
At all.
No, there got to be something to be said for having a dick.
I'm not wearing no dress. No underwears, no panties, no dress, none of that funny stuff. I'm not doing it. Not at all. I don't play those type of games. You know what I'm saying? And I get to see how that agenda is pushed sometimes because niggas ask me to do it. On networks, like, yo, you should do this, Flip. No. I have it recorded and documented. Maybe, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a funny thing. I don't know if seeing men in dresses is hilarious. I don't know if it's some type of kink, but
I think it is. I think it's a combination.
And I'm not even a nigga on their level. I'm not a guy on their level. I'm just a guy that's out here doing it.
Yeah, even if you want to take it off of whatever you believe the mythical dress to represent. I think the broad question is there anything that you'll say no to?
No, Joe Budden.